unfortunately, I don't have any fresh gear, so I just put on the first hat I could find. And hello, everybody, welcome back to a new year of video game analysis. So today, we are going to be discussing Splatoon, the Splatoon series. And what I really want to focus on is how drastically popular it came in such a short a span of time. And just to put it in perspective, this game got its debut on the Wii U, which no matter what you have to say, I'm a big defender and lover of the Wii U, but other than the internet quality, but whatever. But there's a reason why I said that. But yeah, it's not popular. It was not a popular console. It had a very low install base, the lowest in Nintendo's history. With the Switch being a fantastic upstart, so which made Splatoon 2 even more interesting to see in terms of how popular it is and how many people had to get it. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. And the first thing we're going to discuss right away is, of course, the most important part and the most important aspect of this all, the gameplay. Splatoon really is Nintendo's first adventure into the shooter genre. And that's not to say Nintendo's never done shooters before. That's really not true. But this is the first time where you've seen Nintendo put so much focus into a whole IP dedicated, with dedicated sequels, merchandise, all that jazz. The same treatment it gives its other Nintendo characters, to the point where the Inklings are going to be included in Super Smash Bros. That kind of thing I'm talking about. And a lot of people, including myself, were very fascinated with the idea of Nintendo taking on the shooter genre in general. It's an extremely popular genre. And as always, what I like about it is Nintendo takes their own unique turn into the idea. And one little interesting fact, by the way, just full disclosure, I really suck right now. I didn't put a lot of time into Splatoon 2. I know I'm making an excuse there, but I lose this game, and I lose it horribly. And ironically, I had the most, I end up being number one on my team, but, I just want to protect my ego a little bit there. But anyway, so as someone, I'll use that as a segue. So as someone who's not the best player of Splatoon, in the long run, I still love playing it. I'm still very excited about it because it's Nintendo's very unique take into the shooter genre, more particularly the sports shooter. More like playing maps on Call of Duty rather than the traditional story. Well, not traditional, rather than story mode. And then there's also things like Fortnite it just came out way after this, but that is a good example. The Battle Royale is a similar idea, where those are so popular. Team Fortress 2 I should have used. That's a better example. And all these combined, Nintendo saw that. They wanted a slice of that, Especially during the time of the Wii U, where they had to try new things. And little tidbit I find interesting is this idea that this was originally going to be a Mario sports title. And I think that was the best decision Nintendo ever made to not make it Mario. Especially since at the time a lot of fans were exhausted with Mario a little bit. There was a new Mario game every year at the time Splatoon 1 came out, and the Wii U was playing it very safe with all of it. So now that I've got all the way, what I'm talking about with unique is, yes, it takes a more sport level. It's not just about killing your opponent. There's many modes, but it's mostly about playing a game of, here you have Turf War, where you have to spread the most ink. This is the most notable, and people know this the most when it comes to Splatoon. But there's also little games, like there's a game that's basically Capture the Flag. There's a big game that's basically King of the Hill. There's games like, they're very creative in their methods. There's even like a football-style game with like a little football in it. And Splatoon 2 also added another mode that helps you earn money, where you work to bring eggs to the net and all that, but you have to protect it from it's an oil rig thing. It's really cool. I find this stuff really fascinating. They got very creative with this idea, and I think this is the biggest point of Nintendo's success, because in the end of the day, it is always about the gameplay. So for the rest of the video, I'm really going to be talking a lot about of the other aspects that made this alluring and popular. Because, gameplay alone, before the game comes out and before anybody even knows about it, now you have fans. Splatoon 2 did well because it has fans from the first game, it had word of mouth, and people know it now. It's so established, it's not going to be a Super Smash Bros. Character. But yeah, before the fact is, you always got to have little things to be aware of. To get in a little more detail, what I mean is, once upon a time, people didn't know what Pokemon was. Once upon a time, people didn't even know who Mario was, you know? It came down to this idea where you needed to capture the attention. Marketing is everything in video games. And when I eventually talk about Super Mario Odyssey, I really want to bring that home with, advertising is the best thing about, when it comes to selling your game. At the end of the day, this is a marketplace. Video games are a good that you want to purchase. You have to have a customer base. You have to allure the player, And when it comes to that, Splatoon did a lot of things right, especially during a time where Nintendo was not doing well. No matter how you slice it, Amiibo and the 3DS were keeping Nintendo alive at the time. So yeah, let's get to it. So I didn't even notice it, but unfortunately I'm having major internet issues with my Wii U right now. I don't know why. I mean, it probably has something to do, we just switched internet providers, but I had it connected before and everything was working, but I haven't played my Wii U in a while. I had to dust it off. As time has to move on and all that. But yeah, unfortunately I couldn't connect the internet to show off Splatoon 1 a little more. But I still got some footage I needed, because basically I wanted to express the point that Splatoon has a lot of personality, and it really showed in the way they made the 90s style kind of commercials they had for Splatoon, and this 90s skater kind of look they went for. Yeah, because unfortunately you didn't get to see the Squid Sisters in action in their news report that we'll see Pearl and Marina do. But yeah, looking around Inkopolis, there's so much care and time they took. This is a totally new young team in Nintendo. They had totally new ideas. And what I liked about the 90s motif was it really called back to when Nintendo was really in power during the NES Super Nintendo days, And I think they used that to their advantage. I think they were very smart and very deliberate in that. I can't prove that, I don't know for sure, but I really can't help but see that. And all over the place, you see people you can see online. This is an online-only game. You can play some single-player stuff, but it's really lame. But yeah, going around Inkopolis is good enough for me for now. Here's no more Miiverse. See, at first I thought this was just what a Miiverse-less Inkopolis looked like before I noticed I wasn't connected to the internet, but, that just brings me to another point. That just brings me to a quick thing I want to mention is the online-only aspect is also very new for Nintendo, alongside this unique take on the shooter genre. And I find that really interesting. I think there's a lot going on, a lot of time and effort. This is a young Nintendo, a new Nintendo, starting something new, and that's risky and that's tough, especially for Nintendo, who lives off of the nostalgia. They live off of their legacies, everything they've done, and they still make great things. The Switch is an obvious example, but yeah, a lot going on. We got Amiibo going on. So, I guess in conclusion on this part is a lot of personality. Again, I wish I can show you more on Splatoon 1, but unfortunately, this is the moment here where I realized, oh, whoopsie. So we're going to continue the topic here of personality. And when I say personality, I really mean the identity of the game. The things that make the game, other than the gameplay, special, that makes fans, make people interested in the game other than just playing it for a while. Because this, unfortunately, a lot of shooter sports games, you can fall out of it. You can, you're like, I played it, I had my fun. Kind of, unfortunately, ARMS is like that. As much as I like ARMS, I played it for a little while, and I come back to it every once in a while, but it didn't hold my attention like Splatoon did. And, so far what we've been talking about was the aesthetics, the things the character designs, the little nods, the little things you can see in commercials, basically. Well, here let's talk about stuff we can do when we play the game, like invest our time into the story mode and all the little things. So, the first thing you'll notice is I sped up the footage here, because this actually went pretty long, usually it's a little shorter. But yeah, this is a great thing. Every time you turn on Splatoon, you get updated with what's online right now. The stages you'll play, the modes that are open to you at the moment. And here, it's kind of a good thing. I haven't played in a while. I haven't picked this one in a few months. Unfortunately, I do want to go back to it. But yeah, every time you boot the game, you get this little news thing. And the Squid Sisters were in Splatoon 1. They're still in the story mode in Splatoon 2. And here is Pearl and Marina. To give the Splatoon 2 its own identity, its own little thing, while sticking to the familiar. which is really important in a video game series, especially games like Splatoon. You want that familiarity. You want to be able to grasp onto things. But yeah, here's a cool thing. Splatoon 2, the Octolings were bad guys in Splatoon 1, and this time, now they're representing the fact that you can coexist with them. There's a Splatfest going on. A Splatfest is an event that, because what makes something cool about Splatoon is, since it's an online game, which is new for Nintendo, they do a lot of community things like this. They do Splatoon Splatfests where you pick a side and you guys fight each other and see who's, you fight, you go based on popularity and how many games you win, and you see who wins in the end, And yeah, so now we get to the regular stages. This is what it would normally look like. Then they talk about the DLC. Yes, they have DLC available for Splatoon 2. And, all that investment on the developer's part, making DLC, adding to all this, there is a lore to Splatoon 2, to Splatoon in general, and I that's something I think is always important. You always want to something to grasp you, to make, because the gameplay is the most important thing. It's like I said, but you want characters, you want people, you want stories, you want things to hold on to. Some people, fans like to theorize things, they like to think about things. And, the Splatoon world, it has a lot of history. A lot of people saying this is another one of Nintendo's post-apocalyptic Earths. There's a lot of talk about, these guys evolved from squids and octopuses long after the humans are gone. And, there's just little cool things that are hidden in the background to figure out. You get the sunken scrolls in the story mode where if you collect them, you get little lore bits. And yeah, all your characters are you. All the character I'm playing, I customize myself. There's characters that other people customize, and the customization's not that deep, but it's cool. You're all citizens of this Splatoon world, and you have people like Pearl, Marina, the Squid Sisters. You have Captain Cuttlefish. A lot of stuff like that. Here's a little parallel between the Squid Sisters, but you've seen a lot of them. I had to speed up the footage for that, so we won't focus too much on that. But they do wave to you too, in case you're curious. But yeah, even where you get your gear, your weaponry, your clothes, which is normally armor in other games. That's the mode I was talking about with the oil rig thing. And yeah, I'll go inside, and there's people in here. Sheldon's recurring characters. A lot of the shop owners are there, and yeah, they're all talking. They're all letting you know about the newest gear, the newest weapons. It's like there are real retail people helping you out, because in the Splatoon world, this is the most popular game. This is what the young kids do, and a lot of them are kids. Are you a kid or a squid? That's where that comes from. And all of that combined with the great gameplay, Nintendo had a hit here, and it really went to show, especially during the Wii U era. It picked up, Splatoon 2 sales, not only you have fans from the last game, but you have people interested, because a lot of people didn't get the Wii U, and they missed out on stuff like this, and now they don't. They don't have to. Alright, so that concludes our day today, and next time, we're going to be talking about Animal Crossing. It's a game that people either loved it, or they just didn't get it. I don't think anyone ever hated Animal Crossing, but, people find... We'll go over that when we get to it. So, yeah, I'll see you guys then. If there's anything I missed, if there's anything I got wrong, if there's anything you would like to add to the conversation, please do not hesitate to leave a comment. A like and a share would be cool too. Do that thing. So thank you all so much for watching. I've been Billy, your video game analyzer. Have a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you next time.